Summer is in session at Icon Park. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 10, the season finale of Summer Sessions, a Carlton Media pre-season podcast. I'm your host, Christian Philippou. Julian Wallace is our producer today, and for all those who are watching on carltonfc.com.au and our Carlton YouTube channel, you will see who our guest is, and it's probably the highlight of my professional life having him here today. This has been 2 years in the making. Since day one of this podcast, at the end of 2022, we've wanted this man on, and he's here. He's going to give us plenty. He's assured us. He couldn't have been happier to be here. Welcome to the one and only David Cuningham.
Thanks, Critter. As you know, I've wanted to be on here for a long time, and I've heard it might not make a comeback next year, so I better get on.
If it doesn't make a comeback, I'd be happy for this to be what sends us out.
Yep.
It's been a long time coming.
Finish on a high.
You've been banging the door down to be in here. And we've had to hold you off for a long time, but here you are. We thought we'd let you in.
Thanks, mate.
As a big fan of the show, you'd probably know this, but I'll just jog your memory. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Go-to karaoke, probably... an easy one would be Sweet Caroline, everyone.
I don't get that a lot because I feel like it's a common answer. So if you want to lock in Sweet Caroline,
I'll lock it in, but I'm not going to give you a rendition today.
That's okay. We wouldn't expect it. Vossi, I think, was keen to sing American Pie when he came on a few weeks ago, but we'll just let you go about your own devices. That's one of the few things we've learnt about you. We've asked these questions since episode 1, trying to find out a bit about you. It was called The Conundrum. We had nothing on you. We were trying to get a bit of a catalogue. And I think it was Adam Chera in this very room who mentioned that you may be a bit of a DJ on the side. So does Sweet Caroline make the cut for you, or what are your musical tendencies?
No, it's not Sweet Caroline. It's not any of the oldies. Yep. But I heard you ask every guest on the show something about me, and no one has anything on me. Yep. So I'll try and give you a little bit today, but
not too much.
Not too much. Don't give away too much. Yeah, I do a little bit of DJing. I will not pump my own tyres on this one because I'm a real amateur. I've done it probably twice at like a couple of house parties.
Yep. Have you been invited back?
I would say yes, but the house parties haven't come around. So
okay, right.
That tells another story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I love my electronic music, so that's why I sort of started getting into it. And then I bought some decks, which weren't cheap, and I probably haven't got the money's worth out of them yet. No, but I do enjoy having them and having a little spin every now and then. If there's a little house party coming up, I'll put in some work on for a couple of hours beforehand. So it's sort of one of my interests outside of footy, I'd say.
Well, that's an exclusive for any Summer Sessions listener who is having a house party. David Cuningham is available. Yeah. Does Taylor Swift make the rotation? No Neil Diamond, but Taylor Swift, you're a big fan?
I'm not a big fan, as we just discussed off air. Couldn't name a song except for Love Story.
Yep. But you're best mates with Harry Mackay.
Yeah.
Or close mates with Harry Mackay. I don't want to take you to that level yet if you're not, but you're very close with Harry.
I'm close with Harry, and I know he's a huge fan, but he didn't attend the concert.
What was the go with that? Because
I think he was hanging out for a free ticket and
never came.
Didn't get one. He went to Cooper instead.
And Pitto as well had a good time.
Pitto, saw him on the socials, getting right into it.
Well, does his locker? Oh, obviously your locker buddy, so it overlaps yours. And there were a few posters on his locker on Friday afternoon.
There was, and it did overlap. It overlapped number 26 as well, and could barely open my door. So, don't know what that was about.
Were you not happy with that? Are you a clean freak? We're trying to find out as much as we can about you because we've got you now, and it's very exciting. Are you a clean freak? Like what? Who are you? What do you do?
I'm not a clean freak.
Yeah.
My girlfriend will definitely attest to that. I've got like piles of stuff I'm living with her now, and I've got a pile of stuff like boxes that I just haven't opened of boots and runners and stuff. So, she's probably hating that. And I wouldn't say I'm a clean freak, but Pitto definitely is messier than me.
Yep. Right. What can you tell us about you? Just anything. Just
Pitto?
Fun fact. No, about you.
About me.
Fun fact about David Cuningham.
Fun fact.
You know the classic, what's one thing we don't know about you? We don't know anything about you, so just give us one.
No, I don't have anything. I don't have any good stories about me, though.
Just anything about you?
Anything.
Do you not want people to know about? Is that? Do you not want people to know?
No, I don't have any party tricks or anything.
Other than your DJ skills.
I'm being so boring right now, but
no, you're fine. I just think people will relish the fact that you're here and you're talking. I'm relishing the fact that you're here and talking.
It's a rarity.
Yeah, just a quiet guy. Go about your own thing.
Yeah.
Under the radar.
That's it.
But it was great to see you not be under the radar last year and be back playing footy. In the navy blue. I guess we spoke after your return game back in round 14.
Yep.
Clearly turned the season around single-handedly, so well done on that. I guess what was it like playing that 10 or dozen games that you managed to get out last year?
Yeah, I mean the 2 years before that were really tough. Felt like I spent every day just in that gym and just watched the boys train. I couldn't even get out there for that. So that was a pretty dark time in my career, to be honest. And then sort of things started rolling mid last year, and ended up playing 2 VFL games just to be out there was awesome again. And was lucky enough to get back into the side pretty quickly, and that's when we sort of started rolling after that infamous campfire at Ed's.
Camp Kerno, shout out.
Yep. And we got on a roll. We started winning, but it was just good for me to be out there and playing a role for the team. I sort of found a role in that half forward line, coming up to stoppages, and liked working with Fogg in tandem with him, and working closely with Cooper as well, because he plays mid and we swapped a fair bit. So it was a good time, and obviously we were winning, which helped as well. So now I'm very fortunate that I'm sort of injury free for this pre-season, and I feel like that's where you develop most as a player, and you can really work on some things in the pre-season and gain confidence. I felt like I wasn't probably at my peak. I hadn't trained at all before coming into the side last year, so now I've got a sort of a platform to work on. Yeah.
What about the support of the footy club in that time, mate? Obviously you were trying your hardest to get back out there, and had a fair slice of bad luck come your way, I guess, with the footy club. First of all, the staff that were here and your teammates, I guess, how did they rally around you in that time? Yeah,
well, obviously the physios that worked with me at the time put in so many hours on days off. You know how tough the ACL rehab is. It's pretty intensive. So very thankful to them for their time and their support throughout that. And then for the club for re-signing me, obviously they hadn't seen me play for a year and a half, I think it was, and they had the faith in me to re-sign me for another year and give me a chance. So for their support, that was awesome, and looking forward to repaying them and the Carlton faithful in the years to come, hopefully.
I'll touch on the Carlton faithful there. They've been adamant that they wanted you on this show, but not even just that, but more the support that they gave to you while you were out of the game. That must have felt really good to have their love and support on your way back. Yeah,
it was. I still remember when I hurt my knee, like all the messages on Instagram was really overwhelming. I didn't get back to all of them, but I promise I read all of them and was really touched by that. And then I think just in general, like all the fans that turn up each week give us so much energy on game day. It's an unbelievable club to play for. When we get 90,000 at the G, it's super special.
Kicked a goal in one of those finals as well. What was it like being out there for those 2 MCG finals that you got to play in? Yeah,
pretty epic. I'm not going to lie. I don't think, me personally, I was playing my best footy. But yeah, the noise was incredible. And to win 2, now we just have to do it more.
It's a great answer. That's a great answer. I feel like when you walked in, it was hard not to. That 2015 draft class, everyone's spoken about it, I guess, ad nauseum over the years. You look at those players that you came in with now, obviously, Weeders and Charlie now co-vice captains. Yep. Harry, one of your good mates. Sauce you've known for forever, it seems like. I guess, how close-knit of a group are you even to this day?
Yeah, it could go back. It could go down as one of the good drafts if I can if I can match those guys. They've all had great careers to date. And yeah, I remember when we came in, there was obviously 4 first rounders and our father-son, pretty handy player.
Pretty famous father-son as well.
Yeah. So we've been a core group for a while now, and I feel like we're now sort of the more established players in the team and trying to lead the young guys.
Tell us about Harry, because you don't like talking about yourself, but I'm hoping to get, maybe we'll move now on to, because we've had you, we'll try and get stuff on Harry for if it ever happens.
Yeah.
Take us into the, I guess, the dynamics of your friendship. How does that all work? Do you sit in silence and just enjoy each other's company? Like, what goes on?
Nah, I mean, Harry's a pretty serious guy.
Deep thinker.
Yeah, he is a deep thinker.
Yep.
He's always thinking about footy and how to get better, which I respect enormously. And I've seen his growth as a player over the last 5 years has been pretty special. He's very meticulous, as we know, about his preparation and looking for ways to improve his game each year. So for that, I admire him. And then off the field, yeah, he is pretty quiet like me.
Works well.
Yeah, it works well. Yeah, we've been on a couple of trips together. We went to, after the hub year, we stayed in Noosa, and then we went to Europe together. And yeah, that's about it on Harry.
One of your favourites?
Yeah, definitely.
What about Cotters and TDK? They were on here last week.
Yeah, I heard they had a bit of dirt on me.
Well, apparent dirt. I think Cotters thought that he was onto a real good one and had a really believable story about you. Just on the record, did you or did you not work on Harry Potter and the Cursed Child?
Can confirm that's not true.
Yeah, okay. Funnily enough, I thought that. Yeah.
But it's funny that he went with that one out of the 10 that he was going to.
Well, rattle some of them off. What was he? Did he threaten any to you?
He actually said one to me that he does.
Oh, yeah.
So he's flipped it onto me, but
yeah. So a story he's embarrassed about that he then said that you do it instead.
Exactly. Yeah. So Matt Cottrell, for those who don't know, big Office fan, and he
UK
watched,
or US?
US. He's watched the UK as well, but US. He actually watches the same episode of The Office before each game he plays.
Yep.
And that is Scott's Tots, for those who know.
Yep.
The Office.
So it just gets him hyped for every game day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So that's him. I've got more, but we'll save it at that.
Not one more? What about Tom de Koning? Got anything on him?
Tom.
He said you're a big Harry Potter fan and that you once pulled over a cop for speeding.
That's not great, is it?
Well, no, it
that's
wasn't
the best
great,
you can come up with.
Cotter seemed much more prepared last week than TDK was.
Yeah, and I'm not prepared for Tom, to be honest. I'll come back to that one.
We'll let him go.
Yeah.
Well, what about some of the other, I guess, favourite teammates along the journey here, I guess, who you're spending time with? We've really drummed up the you and Harry thing. But I guess who else you spend your time with? Yeah. Have we drummed it up too much? Like, are you that close, or are we just really holding on to it?
No, we are close. We had a dinner on Saturday night.
Okay.
Who else? To be honest, a lot of the guys that I was close with have left the club. It's
okay.
It's a common denominator that I'm friends with them and then they leave the club. But no, I am close with a lot of the boys here. I spent New Year's with obviously Big King, Mercs, Jackson Bins, Kempy, Walshy.
Yeah.
So we had a good crew at Beyond the Valley Festival, which was good fun.
Is that the one that Rob Monaghan and Jordan Boyd are at together? Is that one?
Probably. Boydie loves his festival.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I assume it was that one.
Yeah.
Yep. They're the core group that you
I reckon.
What about you in your spare time? What do you get up to?
In my spare time, at the moment, I'm on realestate.com every day.
Okay.
At 6 p.m.
Yep.
Looking for houses.
Yep.
So
it's going well then?
I reckon I've been looking for a good year.
Yep.
And just haven't got one. Bit like Youngie. I think he was
gone for a while.
5 auctions and the boys were talking about going and bidding against him. He was going that badly. And they might do the same for me soon.
I was going to say, you're expecting the same to happen to you?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully I get one soon. But I'm doing that. I play play golf, like my golf. Studying.
Yep.
Studying business at RMIT. That's taken a long time. I'm 26 now and I'm still studying somehow.
Well,
shouldn't have
you
mucked
didn't
around.
start studying business, did you?
No, I didn't. But that's confidential.
Well, hang on, no, that was a long time ago. Was there a film degree or something that you were looking at?
There may have been a film and TV degree that
Which I think
bombed out of.
I think we drummed that up on our Carlton media channels for ages, and then it was like, oh no, he didn't. He stopped doing that like 3 years ago, and we just did not realise that you had.
Yeah, I was meant to be doing work experience with you, I think.
Well, we kind of looked at it for a little bit, and then I think we went to you one day like, oh no, that's long gone.
Yeah, to be honest, at the time I was like, oh, director would be a fun job, and then
you
I
realised no.
I realised there was a lot of work that you had to put in before you're Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, is that what your bank like? You want to be the next Christopher Nolan?
That's right.
Are you hoping to be the next now? Like, do you have anyone that you're aiming to be now?
No, he's still the man.
He's still the man? You still want to be him?
Yeah, he's huge.
So, film degree postponed or permanently on the shelf?
I would say permanently gone.
Yep. How far did you get?
What did I do? I reckon I did 4 subjects and failed 1 that I actually tried hard in.
Yep.
And then, it was done. And then I spent 2 years doing nothing, and then I've started the business degree.
Yeah. Part-time?
Part-time, yeah. But I still don't know what I'm going to do with that, so...
Yep.
Yep.
Just keep playing footy?
That's it.
What about... You mentioned you went out for dinner with Harry on Saturday night. I guess what's your go-to meal when you're out? In season and out of season.
So in season, after games, I love going to this is strange because you'd think there'd be a lot of Carlton fans on Lygon Street after a Carlton game.
Yep.
But I'm not a massive name yet, so
I think they'll recognise you if you walk down Lygon Street, but you just hide really well.
Well, shout out to Tiamo. I've been going there.
Yep.
After most games, and they haven't recognised me. So.
Okay. Hoodie on and like...
No, not even. Not even.
Full Carlton kit, hoping you get recognised?
Yeah, playing kit like Mott's.
I was going to mention that, yeah.
No, it's a great establishment, great food.
Yep.
And then where else do we go? I'm giving a lot of shout outs today, but
yep.
we
fans
always
of the show,
go back to Hawker Hall with Harry.
Yep.
Anything on Chapel Street, actually.
You realise now that you've said this, people are going to go there waiting to see you post-game. So you have to change.
Yeah.
You have to change your places now.
Hopefully I get a free feed out of this.
That's what you're here for. What about chicken parmas? You're a fan?
I am a fan. That's probably my go-to meal.
Yeah. So, obviously traditional parma.
Yeah. I know where this is going.
Sauce, sometimes a bit of ham. Cheese.
Yeah.
You just... not a fan of the cheese? You push it away? This is some intel from one of your teammates.
Yeah.
I think
Who gave you this?
Take one guess.
Matt always.
Correct. So
he loves this one.
You take the cheese off your parma? Is that...
Look, when there's a lot of cheese, I may just push it a little bit to the side.
That's a schnitzel with sauce then, isn't it?
Say again?
That's a schnitzel with sauce, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just about the diet. I mean, I'm pretty strict at times on my saturated fat intake, so
Yep, okay.
I've been known to take the cheese off a parma once or twice.
Just once or twice?
Yeah, once or twice.
What else have we found out about? You love a horror kit. That's one of the things that we had on you.
Well, I do.
Do you know their horror kits when you're putting them on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you lean into it.
Well, I don't put it on just to.
Oh no. Well, last week the chat was that you are aware of the horror kits. You love people wearing horror kits, but you're also aware of the horror kits.
Yeah, both.
Okay, both.
So you're aware of the Instagram page?
Yeah, with a mysterious admin that we've got no idea who it is.
I was actually in the room when the horror kits page was established back in 2020, I think, in the hub year.
Yep.
And I know who the admin is, but I can't reveal that.
Were they on the show?
It is one of my...
Were they on the show last week?
Last week?
Yep. Did they watch The Office before every game?
Maybe.
No comment. How does that work? Do do you kind of send your submissions into this mysterious admin, or is it?
Yeah, I think the admin sort of asks for any submissions during the week, and then I've noticed they've been a little quiet on the Instagram for a while, but they usually come back with a bang.
Yeah. So, question without notice: top 3 horror kits wearers at the Carlton Football Club.
Top 3. I have to narrow it down from about 20. Top 3. Okay, so it was Ed Curnow.
Yeah.
But
that kind of became his brand that he wasn't part of it anymore.
I think he really tried to do it in the end.
Yep.
Who's running a horror kit now? Ollie Hollands. He's had a few horrors, but they're expensive horrors.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
just came into footy money, did he? And he's just yeah.
But that just makes it a double horror, to be honest. Who else we got? We got Hutto, loves his cargo shorts.
Yep. And that's a no-no. Just confirming.
Depends on the cargo shorts and the combination.
Yeah, that's the issue.
It's usually about the combination, not the individual items themselves.
Yep.
Who else we got? The admin's been quiet at the moment, so
the admin. Like it's not extremely obvious who it is.
The admin's been quiet.
Dirts has been on there a bit.
Young Dirts.
Little Dirts.
Yeah, he actually had one of the worst I've seen with a Michael Jordan tee that looked like he'd made himself. If you can get up the page.
I was actually going to try to. I might ask Jules if he can get it sorted. But
we'll have a look at the end of the episode.
Yeah, done. Well, Michael Jordan kit you just mentioned.
Yep.
We've just come out of pretty exciting day here at Icon Park. We'll change tack now.
Yep.
Pretty exciting day. 2 Chicago Bulls legends, Scottie Pippen and Luke Longley, making an appearance and chatting not only to the AFL playing group, not only just the AFL and AFLW playing group, but the whole footy club. I guess when you players get the chance to hear that these guys are going to come in and give a chat to all of you, I guess what's that like for you who I guess you had your sporting heroes one day, and I'm sure for a few people in that room they were pretty excited about the concept of what was going on today.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, to be honest. We missed out on Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But
has Waders recovered?
I don't think he has. It's not helping that he's in rehab and he's missed out on Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But
it was his one saving grace, I reckon, through that whole period.
Exactly.
That's when it was real fresh.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty cool to hear Scotty and Luke watch the Last Dance, obviously. That was a while ago now, but that was, obviously a champion team. And just to hear a few of their stories and what got them to the level that they were playing at, pretty cool.
Not just them, though. Obviously, it's been a bit of an initiative that had a lot of different people roll through the footy club. I think like David Boone was here last year as well, I guess. Has that been a Vossi kind of initiative to kind of have different elite sports people roll through? And I guess what do you take out of it?
Yeah, I think Vossi has organised a lot of them, and it's just cool to hear another perspective in a different sport. What high performance looks like, how they've created their culture, I guess how they lead their teammates and make their teammates better, which ties in well with Vossi's messaging. And then Booney, obviously, with a couple of classic stories as well. He's a great storyteller, and Luke was pretty funny today. So, they're great speakers and a lot to learn from.
Did anyone come in with Chicago Bulls merch they're hoping to get signed? Name and shame, or were they generally pretty good?
I think Little Dirds came in with his MJT.
With the BYO Michael Jordan t-shirt?
And it wasn't signed.
Yeah, flat.
Yeah, Luke. I think Luke wasn't happy with his involvement in the Last Dance.
Or the lack of involvement. Yeah. Basketball fan, you?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. So, you're not giving us, you didn't give away much, but were you pretty excited when you heard, or was you just pretty, that's, I guess, what you get now in this kind of environment?
Yeah, no, I was pretty surprised. I thought they were pretty big names to be coming. Next year, MJ, I think.
Yeah.
Would be nice.
Natural progression. Well, I think every AFL club was kind of asking the question about Taylor Swift, but you got the one you were after today.
Yeah, Pitto and Harry, a bit flat.
Yeah. Well, other than that, mate, I guess you mentioned your golf Who do you play with? Jack Silvani, was he kind of one of the ones that you go?
Yeah.
down
So
there?
Jack, there's a fair crew that go out to Heritage Golf Club.
Still trying to get a free hit.
Not a member yet, so if Heritage is listening, just
Big fans of the show, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
no, there's actually quite a few golfers in the group, so it's good to get out. I just like it because it's sort of like 4 hours where you can just switch off.
Be by yourself most times.
No, I've actually played once on my own and it was horrible.
Okay.
Like it's all about the chat that you have with the boys. So
But you tried.
I tried once and it was just awful.
Yep.
But no, it's good to switch off just for that 4 hours and just be off your phone. That's what I like about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a social media man.
I am, but that's a good way to get out of it.
Okay, fair. So what is it about, like, we've asked so many of your teammates over 2 years, what have you got on David Cuningham?
Yeah,
And their response is, like, your guess is as good as mine. What is it? Like, why?
I can't tell you.
Okay. You just don't want
It's
to?
the Enigma.
Private man. Okay, so you want to be an Enigma. Is that...
Yeah, I guess so. I'll embrace that.
Yeah, well, I think we've called it the conundrum a few times on this show. But, like, your teammates haven't even seen the inside of, like, your flat, like, anything? Like, they've never been invited over?
Well, to be honest, it wasn't much to invite anyone over to. It was a one better.
Yep.
Not much of a view. So I think they can count themselves lucky they weren't invited.
Yep.
Cotters has actually seen it, so I'm not
So
sure.
he blatantly lied again on the show. That's good.
He
Yep.
lied, yeah. He's definitely seen it. But
TDK said
now
it-
I'm out of there and I need a bigger space. So
Yeah. TDK said it might be a lair.
there's lair vibes to it. Definitely.
I assume as soon as one of your teammates came over to see you, then immediately have to shut up shop and move to a different place. Just, you can't have them see the same place twice.
Well, no one saw it for years. So
How long are we talking? Because you just spent every day with these guys,
yeah,
unfortunately for you.
but there's not enough room for anyone to come over.
Yep.
The standing room would have been half a meter.
Okay. Do you have like a gaming console?
I did, but I got rid of it just to not waste time.
Okay.
Spend more time on the decks.
All that
Practicing my craft.
practicing your craft, yeah. When they talk about craft at the end of a training session, it's on the DJ decks. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, great segue. How is preseason training going? We've spoken a lot about you so far. How's it all tracking?
Yeah, it's going well.
Yep.
Personally, it's nice to be able to
Yep.
get through a full pre-season with no injuries, and we've got a game coming up now in a few days' time, which will be good to sort of test what we've been practicing for the whole couple of months that we've been. It's been a shorter pre-season than normal, but we've certainly got some good training in and sort of tried to perfect some of our defensive system and get a little bit more speed in our ball movement. But I think everyone's gelling really well, so I'm looking forward to Thursday.
You wouldn't believe this, but obviously TDK came on last week and mentioned it's the toughest pre-season he's ever had. Nobody's ever said that before about any pre-season they've ever gone through. But can you confirm that it is the toughest pre-season you've ever had?
Well, I haven't done the last
That's
two.
probably a fair question,
so-
yeah.
But certainly from the ones that I remember,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more footy stuff. We've sort of been straight into some like match simulation this year. And as I mentioned, it's been so short. So we've got into that stuff pretty quickly, and there's been a lot of small games where we've been really working on our power. Am I allowed to say the ice hockey handball game that Vossi's...
Well, Vossi mentioned that he did go to the States and brought back some ice hockey related drills, so that's the one that he mentioned, and I dare say it's the one that the boys say that
So it's not
quite
a secret.
taxing. It's not a secret, no.
This is our secret ingredient to success. It's a pretty cool drill. Like
But looks brutal.
yeah, very brutal. Like only 90-second efforts, but you're pretty gassed after them.
Yeah. Well, toughest preseason ever. Great preseason cliche.
Yep.
We love our preseason cliches on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you the classics. So who's flying? Who's trimmed down? Who's put on a bit of size? who's set for more midfield time? Just any of the above? The floor is yours.
Yep. So everyone's flying.
Yep, good
but
answer.
Specifically,
Everybody.
I think I'm going to go with, Tom de Koning has been a standout for me. He's just been dominant in the ruck, really covering the ground well. I think, he's going to have a super year based on what I've seen. He's been clunking everything. So he's one. All the new boys have come in really well. Elijah obviously has been training every session, and he's a real workhorse, a very good runner. Raz, love what he brings to the team, just his skill on both sides of his body, and he's got some speed as well. Still got plenty of tricks. Billy Wilson, young kid, super quick, probably got the quickest feet in the team off halfback. So he and Sardi will work well together in tandem. Who else?
Well, you missed two of these. So Ashton, obviously up forward.
Yeah, Ashton, Well, he's another dual-sided player.
Yep.
Pretty impressive watching him kick on both sides for goal, depending on which side of the field he's
It's
on.
so
Is that
weird,
right?
isn't it? Yeah.
Kicks on his left for...
Yeah.
No, he's got some skills, and he'll be a gun player.
And one more that I do want to mention. We found out about his nickname on the show last week. Tell us about Jeff.
Buddy Carroll. He's actually grown a lot in the last few weeks. Just his courage. A couple of times he's gone back with a flight, and he moves really smoothly, and he's got a nice leg on him as well. So, he's going on strong. Anyone else?
More midfield time? Who's set for more midfield time?
More midfield time.
And I guess who's put on size? Because I've got one that I want to ask about. Because Alex Murkoff called him pretty hench, was the definition. That was for Jesse Botlop.
Yeah, well, I didn't give Jesse a pump up because he's been pumped up everywhere.
Vossi gave him a great shout out on SEN last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think his head's pretty big at the moment, but yes, he has been training very well.
Yep. And that's all you'll say about it.
He's a special talent. He's got a lot of speed to burn, and his craft around goals is pretty special to watch. So he's in for a good year. Who did we say? More midfield time? I think it's pretty similar to last year, to be honest. Yep. Any role changes? No, I don't want to let them out of the bag yet.
Yeah, nice.
We'll see on Thursday.
It was great. He's given the Charlie Curnow answer of mentioning every single teammate that you've got essentially in one answer. Well, but the more midfield time question, you've said no one really. The answer to that question in the last few weeks has been you.
It has, yeah.
So you're kind of testing yourself in there a bit more this pre-season?
Yeah, a little bit, but I do like the role that I had last year. So they can impact the scoreboard, but also very valuable to us getting back to support the defence. So, I feel sort of privileged to have had that role last year, and just working closely with the mids and Lockie Fogarty, as I mentioned, and I think Elijah's going to play it as well this year. So that's where I'm at the moment. Mostly that role again, and a little bit more midfield time, maybe. A few centre bounces.
Well, unofficially, it's Midfielders Week here on the Carlton Media channels, and we've got you on. Where do we put you? Are you a forward? Are you a mid? Are you both?
It's a contentious topic.
What line meetings do you go to?
That's very contentious. I go to the mids, and all the forwards
let you know about it.
Yeah. They do, because on game day, I'm in the forward group, and I go to every forward meeting, and it's the only day of the year that I'm in the forward group. So I'm going to try and split my time a little more.
Yep. Okay. Nice. You're looking forward to it? Looking forward to the season and everything that it holds?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I guess when Elijah comes in, obviously forward, midfield, whatever you want to call it. You mentioned Fogger as well. I guess so much competition for spots this year. It's probably the main talking point around Carlton going into the season. I guess what does that do for not only you but also the whole team to, I guess, try and, I think Cripper calls it, level up and take your game to a few new levels to try and secure your spot in the team?
Yeah, I mean, we've got so much depth in in most positions on the field. Obviously, losing Weeders isn't ideal, but through the midfield, I think there's probably 4 or 5 that roll through there, as well as the inside mids that and yeah, I think our VFL team is going to be super strong this year, and that's healthy for a strong AFL side. So Bossy always talks about next man up, and I think if anyone is to drop out of the side, we'll easily be able to replace them, because it's about our system at the end of the day, and have trust in all my teammates to fill those roles.
You've pumped up a lot of your teammates there. I will give you the chance. We've asked the question about you for 2 years. Do you have anything on anyone that you want to dish up? It's fine if you don't.
Yeah,
but just know that they have. To be fair, they've actually been quite nice to you. Like, Weeders pumped you up when I asked that question last year. Peter was obviously really nice. Jack Silvani said he loved you. So there has been some nice answers in there, but...
Well, probably shouldn't say anything bad then, should I?
You got anything on Jack Silvani?
Jack.
Or just anyone that you felt like, you know what? You've got the floor. You don't do this often, so if you want to make the most of it...
I have got the floor, but I haven't thought about this.
Yep.
And I should have come in ready with some stories, but I'm going to be nice
and say
that I have nothing on anyone. They're all superstars.
Why'd you come in unprepared? Like, we let you know about this podcast weeks ago, and we put in your diary last week.
You let me know 2 years ago, and I'm still not prepared.
Well, we finish these podcasts with the same question, and it is the finish, mate. So
what is the question? Because I haven't watched an episode.
So, I can't believe that, funnily enough. No.
I've watched the reels, to be fair.
Yeah. How this works is I ask the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'll figure out what the question is.
Go.
But what I was going to say is, well, I'll ask this question. I'm going to get Jules to hand over his phone. You can run through the Horror Kids account with a few of your favourites at the end. But so second last question. It's actually a serious question. David Cuningham, why do you play footy?
Is it a serious question?
Yeah, it's a serious question.
I love the game. Yeah, like growing up, I played a lot of sports, but footy was the one. Not only I thought I was better than the other sports, but it's such an interesting sport. Like, nothing compares to it, and obviously getting to play in front of that many people who are going for Carlton is pretty special. So very lucky to be at this club, but just the game is so dynamic. There's contact. It's a huge field. So loved it from a very early age, and very, very lucky to be able to do it for a job.
That's a good answer.
It's okay.
Well done. Right, well done. Now I'm going to get the props in, and I'm just going to take us through some of your favourites.
Yeah.
Or your least favourites. I feel like it's a great way to sign off. And then we can, I guess, put some overlay over the top.
Do we have a camera up here?
Just tell us the post, and we can mention what's going on. Top 3 favourite posts in Horror Kids history.
Rather than top 3 favourite players.
Yeah.
So many to choose from.
So normally we ask top 3 favourite, I guess, Carlton players of all time, but we're just going to scrap that for this because I feel like it's much more engaging.
One of the admin's favourites was young Sam Philp. So unfortunately he can't provide any more Horror Kids for us. And he was a big provider of content.
Yeah. Shout out to Philpy.
Cotters is always up there.
Who's that? Cotters?
Cotters is, yeah.
Keep the mystery about the account.
I do like... I've spoken to the admin. They feel a bit mean when they post public photos of horrors.
But they still do it sometimes.
They still do it when it can't be ignored.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Youngie. Youngie features pretty heavily. Could. We know who Could is, don't we?
Jack Martin. We've mentioned that on the show many times, mate. You should know this.
Mark Pitternet, he's on. Chez has had a few horrors. They're all in there.
Everyone's made an appearance.
Someone's featured almost every post.
Except the captain. Is he in there?
No.
Skipper.
No,
the admin's too scared.
Yep. Fair enough too.
No skipper, no coach.
Bossy's not in there either.
Bossy's not in there.
He just wears Carlton stuff.
This is bringing back a few memories. Gav,
Yep.
Pito again.
There's plenty. There's plenty to work with.
It's good stuff.
Thank you, David. That was all right, wasn't it?
Are we done? Are we off
No,
now?
no, we're still on air.
Oh,
we're still on air, yeah.
Are we?
Yeah, that was all right, wasn't it?
No, that was good.
Yep.
Thanks,
You got
mate.
it done?
Thank you.
You've done your Summer Sessions podcast?
And hopefully it's back next year.
Hopefully. If you could put forward one name to be on next year if it does make a return. Because obviously summer is ending, so...
Yeah. Next year I'd like to see Harry.
Yeah. Funnily enough.
Yep.
Yep.
Harry. Who else would be good? Maybe Jeff.
Yeah.
Bring
okay.
Jeff on for his first.
Well,
That'll be an eye-opener.
We'll see how that goes. That's good by you. Well done. Well, that does wrap up Summer Sessions for Season 2. It's been a great thrill speaking to some of the characters around here around Icon Park, but no greater thrill than welcoming the mythical David Cuningham to the show. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Rose Zaruki and Julia Wallace on producing duties as well over the last few months. Hopefully we'll see you next year, but we'll definitely see you at the footy, and go Blues.